It is time for another kids craft, and today we're going to be making a super cute Father's Day present because Father's Day is coming up very quickly. So we're going to be making this cute Dad's Stash candy jar. I have mine filled with paper at the moment because I will eat all of Dad's stash if I get candy too early. So let me put this down and show you everything we will need and all the steps we will do to accomplish this super cute Dad's Stash Father's Day present. Okay, for this easy Father's Day gift, you're going to need a jar. Any type of jar will do. You can use a candle jar, you can use an old peanut jar. This is a jar that I bought at a thrift store and it just has this latch. But any jar with a lid will do. You're going to need double stick tape. You're going to need some mustache stickers, or I will show you how I got these mustaches because of course as I was looking for stickers there were none to be found. You'll need some pieces of scrapbook paper. These were just scraps that I had in my stash. I cut a circle with my circle punch, but obviously you could trace the lid to make your circle, and you will need some stickers. So let me show you first how I got my mustaches in case you can't find stickers either. I bought this piece of felt at Joann's, but it has a sticker back, so when you peel this off, the back of the felt is sticky. So I had my felt, so now I needed a mustache. So all I did was do a Google search of mustache shapes, and I got this off of Google. I just printed it up and cut it out, and then I just traced two. I traced them on the back because obviously it will be very difficult to trace on the felt. So I just traced it on and cut it out. Now you may want a parent to help you with that because you want it to get, you want it to get it pretty perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So I just cut two of those out. So that's how I got my mustaches. So now that we have our mustaches all cut out and ready to go, or if you are lucky enough to have a sticker, you are ready for this step. All I'm going to do is take the sticky back off of the mustaches, and I'm going to do my very best to center it in this rectangle. Now I just looked at my jar and cut out a rectangle that I thought would fit. You could use a whole strip of paper around here. You could certainly use a ribbon and affix it to your jar. I just wanted to use something that I already had, so this wouldn't be difficult. So then I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball this to the best of my ability and do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the top right here. Now that we have our mustaches stuck to our paper, now it is time to use our stickers. Now I just went into my stash of stickers, but obviously you can, I bought these at Michael's. You just want to make sure your stickers are not too big, that they will fit on your paper. So you may want to either measure your paper or measure your jar, or just get smaller stickers to make sure you have the right size. So I thought I would use these stickers. I know they're a little hard to see. They're kind of a little bit of cursive stickers. And what I want to put on here is Dad's Stash, because what we're going to be putting in our jar is your dad's favorite candy. Now I didn't buy the candy for the craft because I was afraid that I would eat it all, so I'm gonna make sure I get the candy for my husband's jar right before I give it to him, so there's actually candy in there. So I'm going to take my A sticker off of here. Now listen kids, if you don't want to use stickers, I think your dad would probably like it a whole lot better if you hand wrote Dad's Stash in your own handwriting. I think it would make it really special for him. So don't think that you have to use the stickers. I'm just using the stickers because I had them handy and I like them. Okay, so I'm going to put the A, here's the center of my mustache, just on the other side of that center. I'm going to do my very best to get it straight. But this is a handmade gift and it does not have to be perfect. I think that adds to some of its charm. Then I'm just going to continue with the rest of my letters if I can get them off of the paper. Again, trying to line it up to my best ability. Now we need an apostrophe and an S. I have great big fingers. If you have little stickers, you may want to use a tweezer. But like I said, I think it would be much cuter if you hand wrote this instead of counting on stickers. There we go. So I've got that on there. And you can see it's not perfect. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. Add that. Now I need a capital D. So I'm just going to peel that off of here. Now, the way we want to write stash is not the proper spelling, which would be S-T-A-S-H. We want to do stash like mustache, which is S-T-A-S-H-E. So after I get the dad's part centered, now I'm going to do this down here, but I'm going to put stash, S-T-A-S-H-E, and I'm going to get that done, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I finished the label with the stickers. Now you don't have to use stickers. You could use alphabet stamps. You could handwrite it. You just really want to make sure it says Dad's Stash because we're going to have his stash of goodies in the jar. So this one is finished. So I'm going to go ahead and move that aside. Then I was kind of looking at the circle for the top, and I thought, well, that kind of looks like a face. So I went into my craft supplies and I found these sticky back googly eyes. These were 99 cents. It's a pack of 65. You can buy them in all kinds of different sizes. And like I said, I think I paid 99 cents for these, but I had them in my stash for another craft I would like to do with you all. So now all I'm going to do is take the stickers off of these, and I don't know if you can see, it has a little tab. Focus. There's a little tab right here which makes it a whole lot easier to peel those off. So I got one Google eye stuck on. Now I'm gonna put the other Google eye on, and there we have a cute little face. So our next step is obviously to stick these on our jar. So I'm just going to turn these upside down, and this is where our double stick tape comes in. Now you can glue this if you want, but you may see it on the other side of the jar. So I like this double stick tape, and this I just bought in the office section at Target. Mom and Dad might need to help with this. It is sticky sticky, and you're just gonna put some on the back of both of your pieces. I do the top and the bottom so it will stay stuck. Now this piece I cut a little too big, but that's okay because I have my scissors right here and I can just trim that right off. You see how sticky it is? So that one is ready. And then just put some on the back of the circle. Like that. Then we're going to need our jar, which I have right here. So we're going to go ahead and do the top first. Now I'm going to put the sticker on the back of my jar because the opener is kind of in the way. You probably won't have that problem, but I just wanted to let you know that. So here's the top of my jar, and I'm just going to take my little face and put it on just like that. Then I'm going to take this one. I'm going to put the jar just like this so I can put it down. I'm going to do the very best I can to get it centered and just press it all down. And now your jar is pretty much all finished. All you need to do is fill it up with all of those yummy goodies. I think I'm going to fill this up with M&Ms. That is my husband's favorite. Of course, if you wanted to, you could tie some ribbons around it or anything like that, but my husband's a pretty simple guy. So there is his candy jar that says Dad's Stash. Okay everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's craft. I hope it is super easy. I hope you take the idea and make it your own. Please thumbs this video up if you would like to see some more kids crafts videos. Please subscribe if you have not, and let me know if you make this and if your dad loved it. That would be great, and I will see all of you next time. Bye guys!